Gland is very good at showing the two different parts, the anterior and posterior part of the pituitary gland. This is generally the first gland we discuss in lab as we continue on, which the two major structures we will talk about. But there are other parts that are available here. So here we can see pituitary gland in whole. Above it we can see the hypothalamus, which is very important as well in working in conjunction with the pituitary gland. But here we primarily focus on the pituitary gland, in which you can see an anterior portion and a posterior portion. The anterior portion of this, the anterior pituitary, is often referred to as adenohypophysis. The adenohypophysis. The posterior pituitary, as you will note here, is colored primarily yellow to signify that this is primarily a neural portion. You will often see it called parta neura, which does reference to being the neural part or the neural hypophysis. So the neural hypophysis, the adenohypophysis, the anterior pituitary, and the posterior pituitary. And again, here we can see our hypothalamus above that. One other structure of note is here, the infundibulum, which is the stalk that attaches the pituitary gland here. To note that the pituitary gland sits down into the skull in the sella turcica, or sometimes called the pituitary fossa, in the skull, so in the sphenoid bone. So getting an idea where it is in the skull in those torso models, it does behoove you to go back and take these out, go into this to the torso models and take the brain out and look down in there to see how this does sit. And it will be very beneficial for you to do that. And this wraps it up for this part of the of all these glands here, part of our endocrine system. And this part here is one of the best models we can look at to see these two structures. But mind you, we can see this elsewhere in our torso models and on some of the brain models that you've probably seen in your AP1 lab.